account, which we talked about last week, using sort of Google Gmail to get in that. Once you've signed in, if you click on these 9 little dots up here, you'll see that we've got the Google apps up here. Now, be aware that you have to slide. You might need to slide. Keep might be hiding down here. But at the moment, you can, if you like something and you want to use it, you can rearrange it like this. You can bring them up if it's something that you use more often. So I use Keep quite often, so that's more near the top for me. So you can find Keep within here, like you find Google Docs and Google Drive. Keep's just chilling down here. And so I'm going to open it up, and you're going to see what mine looks like. Now, there's a lot of stuff on here at the moment. And this is all to do with, I've made these Keep notes for this session. It's sort of like a text. It's a note-based. It's like a note taker with a multi-tool note taker. There's loads of different things that you can do in it that are really, really useful. So to take a note, you just, on the page, you literally just open up here and you just type in there, you type title, shopping, and then you can make lists, for instance. So a list here, I'd go into this little 3 little dot here and show checkboxes. And I can say oranges, apples. And you can see it also tries to fill it in for you as well, which is quite nice. You can change the color, which is good for people. If you just want to visually differentiate your notes between them, you can use color. But one of the things that I think is just there's 2 things that I think are really, really just amazing with Google Keep. And I just want to show you them. And I'm going to do that by sharing my phone screen so you can see on my phone. So okay, right. So on screen, you should see my phone now. So I've got my screen on my phone on screen. And Keep is down here on this app here. This is Google Keep. Oh. Now, and you can see on my screen, you can see all the notes that I've got, different colors, to help me keep on top of all the different things that I'm trying to do. Now, with Google Keep, there's a really cool function at the bottom of the corner of the screen. Can you see there's a microphone button? I'm going to press it here, there. Now, what this does is it transcribes what I say as I say it, very much like Google Docs does. The difference is that it provides a recording alongside the text as well. And what's pretty cool about this is you can use this to help practice with public speaking.
Brilliant, Tom. Oh, I really like the link to the next session.
So, oh, hang on. I think because it was still heard what we were talking, it didn't quite do that. Let me just quickly just do that one more time. I'll get that sorted. And let me just, if you don't talk until it stops speaking, so that the recording comes up there as well. Hello, this is just another example of using my voice to type. This is really good for recording my thoughts without having to worry about spelling. I can type a lot faster with my voice, and I will get a recording at the end of this. So here you can see what's happened is it's written out what you've said, and underneath it as well, I've got a little recording that I can play. So this is just another example. Oh, and obviously like kind of it's died out there, but what you can see is that you can type with your voice into Keep alongside having the recording alongside there. So you can listen to what you've said, you can listen to how you can read what you've said. And a lot of time that's really nice as well, because you can listen back to how you've said something, why, you might want to edit it or change it or think, hang on a second, do I want to say that? Is there another way I can say it? Listening back to what you're saying is a really good way to help with public speaking. There's one other thing with Google Keep, which is quite possibly the coolest thing since sliced bread, I think. So on Google Keep, so I've gone and taken a picture of the first page of sort of Darwin's, Species, Origin of Species book, a book we had lying around. Now, this is so if you remember what I was talking about before with the format, if you look at this, we've got like really blocky text. It's all sort of stuck together. We've got serif fonts. It can be quite difficult to read, right? So what I'm going to do is we take a picture of the text so in Google Keep, what you do is you click on this plus button down here. Oh, no, sorry. You click on the images button. Can you see this image button here?
Oh, yeah.
So you click on that and then you click take photo. That will allow you to take a picture of the page that you want to use. I've already taken one. My room's a bit dark and I didn't want to do it while I was online with everyone. So I took one earlier. And this is what's happened. This is what it looks like. Now it's really important when you take a picture, just so that you're aware. If you see how I've made sure that all the text is on the page, there's no shadows over it, and that there's no other text from other pages. It's just that one page. It's really important that you just have that text from that one page, because otherwise it can get a bit. What we're about to do, it's going to have a bit of problems with it. So once we've done that, I'm going to click into the item itself. So it's 2 clicks. So you go into one, select it like that, so it appears. And in the top right-hand corner of the screen, there's 3 little dots. When I collect that, I get grab image text. Okay, so grab image text copies the text from the page into Google Keep. So what that means is that you can literally copy text from the real world and bring it into online. So you can copy and paste it. You can use it to write with. And it's a really useful tool, because when you combine it with another tool at the bottom here, where we click these 3 dots, it's a bit confusing, but click these 3 dots and we go to, hang on, send, hang on, there we go, send. We can send a copy to Google Docs.
Oh. That is cool.
So in Google Docs, remember, we've got text-to-speech, so we can have it read out to us now. We can take this text from the real world, take a picture of it in into Google Keep, and then we can send that to Google Docs where we can have it read to us. So things like important letters, things that you might not be able to read or you're having trouble reading yourself, by taking a picture of it in Google Keep and then sending it to, and grabbing the image text with the button in here. I want to show you. So we go into this image, press it, 3 little dots on the top, grab image text. That will take the text from the image, and then go back into the image itself. You can see down here, it's pulled out all the text for us. Click on the 3 little dots at the bottom, go to send, and then copy to Google Docs, and that will send it to Google Docs. So now I'll just demonstrate what that looks like in Google Docs. So I'm going to end my screen share here. And then bear with me. Yeah. Can you see that as I shared that screen? No, it hasn't. Bear with me 1 second. I have so many screens I'm sharing between, and I apologize, and I'm just flipping between them.
You're doing brilliantly, Tom.
Thank you very much. So here is the example page grab. You can see this is the image that I took a picture of. And here is the text underneath it.
That's really clever.
So can you see that we've taken that font, that horrible font that's really difficult to read, we've now put it into something, into a format that we can listen to. We can use text-to-speech. We can change the font. We can change the size. You know, all the things that we've done previously, you can now do that with a piece of text that was in the real world, as opposed to it just being stuck on, just being on screen. You can take books, pages, anything like that. We can do anything we like with it now that we did in previous sessions to make it more accessible.
That's amazing.
It's a tool that you could use for paraphrasing, actually. It's a really good way of being able to start paraphrasing from a piece of text.
Yeah, you could definitely use that. You could get text. You could pull text out, and once you've got any text into Google Docs, that's it. You've got so much flexibility with it. You know, we can do, like we're saying, you know, we can give it extra spaces. You know, we can add, you know, like we were talking earlier, you can add extra spaces to give gaps in it. You can make text bold so that it stands out. You know, all the things that you've got, all the flexibility that you have within a word processor, you can take documents from the real world and you can do that as well. So anything that's really important that you're having trouble reading, and you can have a bit of anxiety over reading, using this technique with the grab image text in Google Keep and then sending it to your Google Docs means that, like I said, you've got a whole toolkit available to you that you wouldn't have had normally.
And which then you can actually have text to speech then.
Exactly, yeah. So you can use Natural Reader, you can use all the other things that we were using, you can use the things that we talked in the last session to be able to, on anything, basically, anything you can take a picture of, a good picture with the text, you can then have it read to you, which, yeah, I think is really, really useful and can reduce quite a lot of stress when it comes to, if you've got important documents or anything like that you need to read, that can reduce a lot of stress because you know you can have something that will have it read to you. A good example is I was doing some work with people like homelessness, and obviously like kind of important letters that people can't read. You know, you're then beholden to asking someone else to read what could be like quite private or quite like sensitive material. You know, you're beholden to other people to read that for you. But with this, you don't have to do that. You can take a picture of it and you can have it read to you, which I think is yeah, I really like. It's a hidden tool. It's quite hard to find, and obviously I've made a sort of a document, a Word document that sort of takes people through things you can do in Keep. And I'll happily send that to you after the session because I understand that it's, yeah, the video is good and to follow the video would be good, but I've got step-by-step instructions on a document that I can send as well. So if people want to look at that and follow on at home, they're welcome to.
I think that's absolutely fabulous, Tom. You're right, it's a really cool tool. And for people who, you know, do find reading a bit hard, it's a great tool to get going with. And again, sensitive information too. You don't want to share with somebody else, but you need to read it. Yeah, I think it's really good.
Brilliant.
There's a question from Sujan, which is, does it work with handwriting?
Oh, I don't think it does. I've tried it actually. I've tried drawing my own sort of handwriting in it, and it doesn't really get it, unfortunately. I think the text to speech is for typed text because that's very consistent, and you know, handwriting is there's so much more variation to everyone's handwriting. Even within your own handwriting, some days my handwriting doesn't even look like my handwriting. So I think at the moment it's just doing sort of typed text. I imagine that sometime in the future, what with technology being the way it is, we'll probably get to the point where we can do it. I thought for the last 5 minutes, I remember you speaking about sort of some apps that could be useful for people, like as in paid apps, maybe some apps that people, would you like me to just talk quickly about some of the paid apps I talk about, or is there anything else you'd like to talk about in the last couple of minutes?
Well, over to you people. Do you want Tom to talk about paid apps, or is there anything else you would like him to talk about?
I can't remember if Tom talked about Seeing AI. I don't think that's the paid one actually. You can just get that, can't you?
Seeing AI?
Seeing AI. Did you talk about that? Sorry.
I would love to, but as I've just heard of it at the moment, it would be very disingenuous for me to talk about something that I'm not quite versed in. I don't actually know. I've just Googled it now, so I'm afraid I don't have the knowledge on that. I'll look up on it, and if people want me to talk about it in the session when I come back.